Back to Bosch. Dragic dishes to Whiteside. That's a 2 from Day. No good off the front iron.
Boy, there was no hand in his face right there. I thought for sure he was going to knock that down.
Well, Greg, after a run of 10 playoff trips in 11 years, the Miami Heat missing the postseason last year, they'd end up a game back of the 8th spot.
Yeah, and what's hard for the Heat, Kevin, is that they were in the playoff picture for most of the year, and as the season wore on, they slowly fell out of that top 8.
Now, Mbamute, after Dwayne Wade's three-pointer that didn't go, was shot by Redick, no good. 1:53 left to play here in the first. Whiteside with it. Passes it to Wade. Back to Whiteside. The feed to Wade. Shot from the top of the key. Another miss by Wade.
You know, guys, for the greater part of last season, it appeared as though the Heat were playoff bound. Even with the players they lost, most figured they would be playing postseason basketball. I don't think they can ask much more of him than what he's done this quarter.
And one reason why the Heat did come up short in their playoff aspirations, they were very poor against other teams in the playoffs. They only went 15-31 against teams that had made it into the postseason last year.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers. Miami's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Dragic the pass to Whiteside, and that one's good by Bosch.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see them operating a lot of their offense from the interior today.
Now here's Crawford. Green kicks to Pierce. Pass to Rivers. Deep 2 from Crawford. And the defense really pressing up on him. Made that a tough shot. The Heat have gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the first quarter. Shot's good. 9 points for Dwayne Wade.
Both teams trading punches back and forth. This thing's like a heavyweight fight.
The momentum swings really impossible to keep track of. The energy in the building just keeps going back and forth, ebbing and flowing. I'm loving it.
Here's Dragic following the score by Jamal Crawford. Outside Dang. Three-pointer. Shot is no good. And the Clippers will go the other way with it. Now the Clippers moving it up. There's the triple. They grab their own miss. The dish now to Rivers. For the 3. Miami grabs the miss. There's 18 seconds left to play here in the first. And it's Wade with the jam.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
And it's Dragic with the foul.
Johnson.
11 seconds left to play in the first. Crawford outside. Takes the 3. Rivers. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. Both teams have it going here early and still close through the first quarter. And Austin Rivers making NBA history last season. His father, Doc, is the head coach.
And I think it's because we've always had.
Always an entertaining dynamic when you have a father coaching his son. We've seen him in college basketball a few times in the past, most recently at UCLA. But this, Clark, this is a first in the NBA.
Yeah, it looks like it doesn't make any difference in the case of Doc and Austin Rivers. I mean, he's just one of the Clippers, and Doc doesn't treat him any differently.
And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And when you consider how the Heat are doing, guys, what jumps out to you, stats-wise?
It's been about the pace. You can see they're going to try to keep this game in the open floor.
Yeah, and, you know, it's been a tempo that they like, and they're getting some easy buckets in transition here.
Inside, it's Griffin and Jordan. Paul and Crawford pair up at the 1 and 2. And it's Johnson in at the 3, the small forward. That's who's out there for the Clippers.
And I feel like there's a reason Joe Johnson has gotten a number of astronomical contracts. It's because he does everything for you. He's like one of those items you buy that touts everything you need, nothing you don't. Well, to me, that's Joe Johnson.
J.J. Redick's checked in for Jamal Crawford. Paul for three, and Wade sends it back, but they recover it. Redick is in the corner. Hands with the ball out of bounds. Jordan touched it last.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
A different look for Miami. Josh McRoberts is checked in for Stoudemire. And it's Dragic in for Dwayne Wade.
Clark, when you take a look at Joe Johnson, and if you were on a good team, a team that was contending for a championship, where ideally would you like him to be? Where would you slot him?
I'd put him in that first or second scoring role because he's so good and scores so effortlessly. And at some point, I think he's going to hoist that Larry O'Brien trophy.
Johnson kicks to Redick. From downtown, basket is good. The assist from Johnson. Redick's got 14 points.
And you know what? He's got a new BFF. It's the triple.
And it has been his BFF today anyway. Most of his points have been courtesy of the deep ball.
Griffin kicks to Paul. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Paul's got the game tied up here for the Clippers.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
That's 2 unproductive trips in a row, ending in turnover.
And one thing you can't do is string together those kinds of possessions. It can snowball in a hurry.
Los Angeles making a switch here. And Baamute's checked in. Then for the Heat, Wash comes in for Johnson. And it's Dang in for Winslow. So they take the lead. He's got 17.
This is an absolute monster performance from him. He is pulverizing them from the three-point line.
Here's Bosch. And the layup is good.
Well, I think it's been said about 1,000 times now how Coach Spoelstra started as a video coordinator with the Heat, but he's been with the organization for so long, they are starting to become synonymous.
The shot by Redick, no good. Heat have gone a nice 3 of 3 to start the second. To the paint. And it's Bosch, that time on the assist by Dragic. Dragic has got 5 assists in the game. 6 changes of the lead here.
Yeah, no team able to build a big lead early on. I mean, it's tight.
Yeah, both teams still kind of feeling their way through this game.
As you said, Spoelstra has been with the Heat for so long now in his 8th season. He was handpicked by Pat Riley to lead the team, and Riley, Clark kind of molded him in his image.
Yeah, and it was clear that Pat Riley believes in him and continues to believe in him. Coach Spoelstra has had very high expectations on his shoulders ever since taking over the team, and he's actually lived up to them. And, you know, J.J. Redick has shown steady improvement in his game. He entered the league as a spot shooter off the bench. Last season, averaged over 30 minutes a game for the Clippers. He's come a long way.
Timeout called the Heat. And Redick has improved every phase of his game over every year, especially in the area of efficiency. Shooting over 47% from the field last year. And Greg, that by far the highest in his career.
Yeah, and his mid-range jumper last year, just automatic. The turnovers per minute averaged also ridiculously low. It even improved as a defender.
Lets it go from deep. And again, Los Angeles with the triple.
They're going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
And they may have found the Achilles heel of this defense. That was their 9th straight point from beyond the arc.
This one for 3, and that one's good. And now it's an 8-point Clipper lead. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Clippers.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
Launches a 3, and it's Miami with the rebound. Whiteside's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Near the three-point line, it's Wade. They can't stop the run with that one. From deep three-point range, the shot by Redick, no good. The Heat trail by 8. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
Paul kicks to Redick. From deep. And it's Dragic with the rebound. For Miami, they've gone 4 of 8 so far here in the second quarter. Here's Dang. Back to Wade. The 17-footer goes down. Wade's got 13 points.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
That was a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yep, he's on the money, that's no doubt.
That's a dozen straight points coming off the triple.
Yeah, Greg, you know, they're having free reign from beyond the arc. The defense is just not there.
And he gets the bucket. And it's 6 points now in the game for Hassan Whiteside.
You know, as soon as he recognized the height mismatch, he immediately pulled up for the jumper.
And, Greg, that's just good basketball. Come on, good basketball there. Clean look from that range. He's got to take it.
Here's Wade. Rebound by the Clippers. Jordan's got 6 rebounds here tonight.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
The Heat trail by 7. Here's Wade. And it's Wade again missing.
He's lost it in this quarter, no doubt about it. Nothing seems to be going for him.
Green dishes to Jordan. Green kicks to Redick. Lets it go with the 3. And the shot is good. Redick's got 29. And that concludes the...
Thank you, Kevin. Here.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome a pretty close game for the Clippers throughout the first quarter. They never trailed by more than 3 points, and it was neck and neck the entire period. And that'll do it for now, as the second half of our game is about...
The second half just about to get going here. You look at J.J. Redick, what a contribution.
And in terms of points in that first half, you know, he's now at a point where we expect him to perform that way.
And, Greg, that tells you all you need to know about what a talent he is. I mean, I'll bet he adds a lot more to his totals after the break.
On the floor for Miami, Dang and Bosh, your small and power forwards. Dragic is joined in the backcourt by Wade, and it's Whiteside in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Well, a scary moment for Chris Bosh last year. Had to be shut down, Greg, as we all know, for the season after blood clot was found in his lung.
You know, and Kevin, it really puts basketball in perspective. I mean, it happened right after the trade deadline, and obviously a huge blow to the Heat in terms of their push for the postseason. But fortunately, it looks like he's going to make a full recovery and have a huge impact this season.
No good on the second free throw.
You know, the Heat never really came back after losing Bosh. His presence on both ends of the floor is hard to replace, and they missed him a bunch.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
Hey, guys, I know I speak for everybody. Glad to see Chris Bosh back out on the floor. I mean, blood clots can be a very scary thing for anyone, and I think everyone is happy he's been able to make a full recovery. And it was a very public falling out between Goran Dragic and the Suns front office. That was a real tense few weeks there before ultimately he was traded.
And, of course, Dragic was traded to Miami last season, said he felt betrayed by the Suns front office, which spurred him wanting out of Phoenix and to South Florida.
Yeah, you know what? We'll never know the whole truth about that situation, but Dragic said they told him one thing with personnel and he did something else.
And Redick is just an unbelievable three-point shooter. It's not just his volume, it's his pinpoint accuracy. By the end of last season, Redick was 40% from behind the arc for his career.
And for Redick, he knew what his NBA career would be like. Way back in 2005, Clark, I recall him saying, I think I'll be a role player like 80% of the players in the league. I don't expect to be a star. I'll just shoot. I'll be a team player.
Yeah, and he was exactly right. He was highly decorated in college, but every scout knew his strength was shooting the basketball, and J.J. knew it as well.
Strong work for him at the offensive end, helping them to maintain that lead.
Shot from 12. Offensive rebound. Whiteside. And he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket. Whiteside's got 8.
Just a grinder. Always doing the dirty work on the offensive glass. And that's one of the things he brings to the table.
And the Clippers decide to take their first timeout here. And it's on Whiteside of Miami at the breakout year of all breakout years. Clark, he blew up in the right way last season. Averaged a double-double over 48 games.
Yeah, and great to see for Whiteside because he did have some issues prior to the breakout year. And it's nice to see him find his stride and produce with that awesome talent he has.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Crawford comes in for J.J. Redick. And it's Austin Rivers in for Paul. And it's sent back by Bosch. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Clippers will retain possession. And a new group getting ready for Miami. Amari Stoudemire, he's checked in for Whiteside. Johnson comes in for Chris Bosch. Winslow's checked in for Luol Deng. And it's Richardson in for Dwayne Wade. Pass to Rivers to the left side wing. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Crawford. And again, it's the Clippers missing.
And talking about Whiteside, he isn't completely out of the woods yet. I mean, after a couple of ejections last season, his teammates publicly condemned his actions. They questioned his maturity, challenged him to be more reliable, and for the most part, he was after those incidents.
Out of bounds, the Clippers take possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Rivers against Dragic. And it's Dragic with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
And you know, the thing about Whiteside, guys, when he's right, he's an unbelievable game changer. Second in the league in block shots last season. Also posted the second best field goal percentage. The guy can play if he keeps his head squarely on his neck. They got off to a nice start, a good start in the first half. But they've fallen off a bit here in the second half, and I'm not quite sure why. Maybe they just need to pick up the intensity a bit. Guys, they've had a solid start to the second half offensively. Gotten good looks, and they've made 3 out of 4 of them.
Here's Crawford. Griffin passes to Aldridge. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. Crawford missing again.
Frozen. Guys just ice cold, unable to contribute offensively.
And the dunk by Winslow.
Maybe that'll ignite them. I mean, impossible not to get pumped up after that. At least I think that would be the case.
Well, you can see the immediate reaction of the guys on the bench. They are. Look at them. They are pumped up.
Yeah, they're geeked.
And that's what the alley-oops guys will do for your team.
Aldridge kicks to Crawford. He feeds it to Aldridge. He dishes it to Mba Amute. Shot clock at 6. Los Angeles needs to get off a shot here. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you could hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
The Clippers shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. Not to the surprise of anyone, really, but the Clippers last year were strong at home once again. They managed to go 30-11 at Staples Center.
Yeah, and Kevin, that makes 3 straight seasons for the Clippers of 30 or more wins at home.
Redick with the 3. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got 3 assists in the game. The Heat trail by 9. Richardson kicks to Dragic. Down low, here's McRoberts. And the rebound goes to Griffin. Griffin's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. Unable. To get the ball in bounds, they get called for the 5-second violation. 1:53 left in the third. Paul kicks to Aldridge. It's Redick on the wing. To the middle. Stolen by Winslow. And now here's Johnson, the fast break chance. And a slam dunk by Richardson.
Tell you what, that was all made possible by the heads-up defense at the other end.
And I love that as soon as they get their hands on the basketball, they immediately get out and transition.
Inside. Griffin dishes to Aldridge. Kicks to Paul. Feeds it to Redick. A three ball. That's good. Redick's got 40 points.
And he's starting to show that killer instinct this quarter, looking to extend the lead.
Last season for Chris Paul, another strong season, yet quite a year for him in terms of media hype. He was as strong as ever on the court and off the court.
And that's a great point. You know, he did kind of fly under the radar. It's hard to imagine a first-team Hall of Famer in the future could do that, but a lot of it had to do with Steph Curry kind of coming on to the scene, splashing on the scene, if you will. But he is still one of the top point guards in our league.
He kicks it to Redick. From downtown, and Wade sends it back. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Redick. And some changes here.